Hello. I need some help. I need someone that knows what size of base Inquisitor Cotias is supposed to be on. Because mine's on a 25mm base. And I know that is not going to be right for the new model. But I haven't bought the new model, so I want to rebase them. So I need some help. You guys hear me okay? Good evening, good afternoon, good evening, good afternoon, wherever you may be. Hello, hello, hello. Let's see. Hello, Gavin. Hello, Daniel. Good evening, good evening. Does anyone know, because I didn't buy the Agents Codex this edition, what size of base Inquisitor Codex should be on? I'd appreciate it, because I have no idea. I'm going to start with a little bit of black paint. 40 mils? Really? So he's on 40mm base now. God, that base extender is not going to work then, is it? Because that's to 32. Yeah. I'm certain. You are certain. Damn it, damn it, damn it, damn it. Why are you so certain? Nice Photoshop. Thanks, Robert. Well, this is going to look rather stupid because I'm pretty sure that's a 40, isn't it? $25 to $40. It's a big jump, man. Look at this. He's going to go onto that. That's right. Jeez, oh. I was going to say, I feel like you're right, but I don't want to glue them until I'm 100% confident. I need someone else in chat. Someone else to come in and tell me he's on a 40. Where did you find out he's on a 40? Does it say on the Games Workshop website or something? Robert says it's a 40. I sent you the official base size from the app. Where? Ray? Where have you sent me it? Well, PDF will tell you on his page as well, will it? Oh well, we get the super glue out. Well, PDF says he's on a 40. Okay. Right, a little bit, looks a little bit silly, but I guess we're doing it. Oh, and Facebook Messenger. I barely use Facebook Messenger, man. If you're ever going to send me a DM, send me on Discord, because I don't use Facebook Messenger all that much, I must admit. Space Wolves have been a major problem for me to crack. Turn 1 Deep Strike. What are they deep striking on turn 1? Terminators or something? Evening VT, evening Campbell, evening Eternal Crusader. Nice to see you guys. How are you this evening? I'm going to start by rebasing this Inquisitor Cotiers onto 40mm base, because apparently that's what he's supposed to be on now. I don't even know if I've got any liquid green stuff. Maybe I bought a new pot of it, I'll need to check. I have a question. Is anyone excited about the new Tron movie? Because I want to be excited about it. I really want to go and see it, obviously. But I'm really worried that it's going to be shit. And I actually really liked the last one. Like, I thought Tron Legacy was a great movie. Whether I was probably in the minority. But I really liked Legacy. The Deep Strike Wolfguard Terminators, and they're hard to shift. Yeah, Terminators with -1 to wound are just generally very strong. Evening, James. How you doing? There's a new Tron movie. October 10th, I believe. Yes, a new Tron movie. Whether it'll be good, whether it'll be any good is a question that I guess no one will. We won't know for a couple of months. I think it could go either way, right? It could be great. It could be a steaming pile of stuff. I don't even know how I found out about it, honestly. I mean, maybe I just follow Tron on Twitter, or... Well, I must follow Disney on Twitter. That's probably why I found out about it. I mean, I mainly follow Disney on Twitter because I watch movies with my kids. But yeah, the tickets aren't on sale yet in the UK for the new Tron movie, but I'm gonna go see it. But I'm going in with low expectations. I just learned it existed last night because I watched the Chargers play. I'm going to watch the Giants game. Apparently, is on the UK TV, like UK TV. What do I call that? Like regular TV here in the UK tomorrow. We normally don't get NFL games, except like the Super Bowl or something. So I was going to watch the Giants game tomorrow. Hopefully the Giants will have won it by the time my live stream for 8 o'clock goes, because I think it kicks off at 6 here, so it'll be like 2 hours before. So hopefully the Giants can have that wrapped up. Then I can get on here and do my live stream. The Giants have been really bad for so many seasons. I just watched Thunderbolts. It was a lot better than expected. Hello, Kyle. Welcome to the channel. I watched Thunderbolts last weekend. I feel like I really enjoyed it. I'm not sure about like the last 20 minutes. Oh, spoiler, I guess, if you haven't watched it. I won't spoil it in case anyone hasn't watched it. But you know, for the most part, like 80% of the movie was great. I wasn't sure about a certain part of it, but I thought it was a good movie. Terrestrial TV, yeah, like that's what we mean by... That's what I mean. Like, I very rarely, if ever, watch terrestrial TV. The ironic thing is, here in the UK, you have to pay for it even if you don't watch it. Such a con. VG says, had a good gym session and just got out of the sauna. Once I'm back home, I'll work on some jump intercessors. I had an okay gym session today, actually. I've been hitting the gym like 5 days a week for the last 2 or 3 weeks. I was stalled on a couple of my exercises and I was getting annoyed that I was stalled. You know, like when you're in the gym and you're trying to do like what the personal bests and stuff. And I'd just been stalled on a few exercises, and I was like, right, I just need to break through the fact that I can't lift anymore in these exercises. So last week I think I did the gym 5 days. This week I've done the gym, well, I'm going tomorrow morning, so it will be 5 days. Whether or not it's going to let me get through this barrier I'm at, I don't know, but I'm going to do it anyway. Determination. That's what it's all about. Hello Frollo Brain, how are you doing? NFL is a good excuse to drink beer and waste time. All this while I pretend to know how to play American football. Do you know what? I did watch a video last night on how they're changing some rules for the new season of the NFL. Because we don't really get very many rules updates, to be honest with you, here in the UK. So, I actually had no idea you could only do an onside kick in the fourth quarter before. Or at least for a few seasons, that's been the rule. You can only do the onside kick in the fourth. So yeah, I'm not super clued up on the rules, but they are changing some rules this year. Jason's been working on his couch to 5k. Want to get my 5k under 25 minutes? Yeah, good for you, man. 5k is like what, 3 and a bit miles, something like that. So you're almost running 8-minute miles at that point, probably. Yeah, that's a good speed, man. I think a lot of people underestimate how fast you actually need to be running to run like 8-minute miles. Like, you know, for a long period of time. Like, you gotta be running pretty fast. That's why I think marathon runners are always bonkers, you know, like when they're doing marathons in a few hours. It's like, do you know how fast they're running constantly for 2 hours? It's... Their easy running pace is faster than you're sprinting. It's bonkers. It's actually bonkers. They've butchered the kickoff process. I noticed that they changed the kickoff process a little bit again. I guess they just want more kickoff returns, is that why? Or they want longer returns. 5 days a week sounds wild to me right now. I hadn't gone for 2 weeks due to being crazy and having a cold, but maybe need to deload and break through the plateau. Yeah, I mean, I don't go for a full session 5 days a week, right? Like, a couple of sessions are definitely shorter if I'm going 5 days a week to the gym. I think I'd probably end up being too sore, or probably end up hurting myself if I did like I did 90 minutes this morning. But I was exhausted at the end of it. To hell, I mean, I've been exhausted pretty much the rest of the day after doing 90 minutes this morning, I must admit. But yeah. I mean, sometimes if I'm going 5 days a week, a couple of sessions would just be like half an hour, maybe 45 minutes. But the thing about going to the gym, it builds up very quickly, right? If you're consistent at the gym, you'll be surprised at how quickly you can build it up, I guess. Having home gym helps. Yeah, I mean, I just have dumbbells. Shitloads of dumbbells. Greetings, Blood Angels Commander. Have you found Mephiston to be worth his points in Angelic Inheritors? Yes. Yes, I think so. Yes. I've played him 3 times in Angelic Inheritors recently. Sometimes he doesn't do all that well. I think the thing about Mephiston is his damage is super unreliable. He's pretty survivable, and he's a bit of a nuisance, but his damage is just super unreliable. So if you're playing him as a character that's going to be a nuisance, and you're not really caring about his damage, then I think he's pretty useful. It's when you start relying on his damage that you'll actually be like, oh god, this guy can't be in my list because his damage is just super unreliable. So, I mean, just play him as a nuisance. Play him on a flank. Like, someone was telling me in the comments this week, they were like, put Mephiston into the center objective. I was like, if he's in the center of the board, there's probably too much stuff there, and he just dies. Put him on a flank where your opponent's weak and doesn't have a lot of stuff. Because he's difficult to kill. If they don't have something that can do quite a lot of damage, He'll be difficult to kill, right? Like, he's not getting killed by a unit of assault intercessors, for example, right? He's not getting killed by probably like a small unit of Harlequins, or, you know, like, they need to commit something to him. Like, a 100-point enemy unit is unlikely to be killing him. So that's where I think he excels. On a flank where the opponent are weak, and you're not super strong in that flank either, but you've got like 5 jump intercessors and Mephiston will be the ace in the hole that turned it around. I enjoy the points for the combi lieutenant standing back up. You know, I tried that combi lieutenant a lot, Jason, and my experience with the combi lieutenant is, I just think I need characters that are durable, and he isn't durable, and I also think I just want characters that can sometimes do damage, and he just doesn't do damage either. You know, like, I charged Azrael with the combi weapon lieutenant. I'm like, please just take 1 wound off of him. Please just take 1 wound off of him. No, he does nothing. You know, and it's just like, ugh. I mean, maybe you could say, well, you just shouldn't have charged Azrael, but I'm like, I'm a Blood Angel. My character has, like, what has he got? Like, 5 attacks or something? Sustained, AP1. He's got anti-infantry dev wounds and stuff. It's like, surely you can do 1 damage to an enemy character. No, he can't. So, like, I get him standing up is cool. I get you can be sneaky with it. I've just tried it, and it keeps failing for me. So, I think at some point, if you keep trying something and it doesn't work for you, it doesn't mean it doesn't work for other people. It just doesn't work for you. Change it up and move on, right? So I guess that's where I got to with the combi weapon lieutenant. I must have tried him in like 20 lists or something. I had another game as well, which I was really frustrated with, the combi weapon lieutenant, where it was like, it was 5 Howling Banshees. And Howling Banshees have like a 4-up save and 1 wound. And I was like, again, I only needed him to kill like 2 Howling Banshees. I was like, surely with, what, you know, 5 attacks, sustained 1, rerolling 1s to hit, rerolling 1s to wound, I can kill 2 Howling Banshees. And he just charges them and he just does nothing. And then they just kill him. And I'm like, oh my god, I only needed to kill 2 Howling Banshees to like out-OC this objective. Kill, you know, like, I feel like Mephiston, at least, although his damage is unreliable, he will kill 2 Howling Banshees. It does sound like Meph is more my style. Yeah, my style's weird, man. I was thinking about that the other day. I can't remember what I was thinking about. I think it was like, I was thinking about like, not American football, like soccer. Like, I support different soccer teams than all of my friends, and I was trying to think about, like, why do I support these random ass soccer teams that none of my friends supported? And I think it probably stems back to, like, did I just want to be different? Was I an outsider? Because, you know, none of my friends support the soccer teams that I support, and it makes, like, in my brain now, like, thinking back, it makes no sense. It's like, why did I support these teams? And I think it was probably just because I just didn't want, I'm, I guess, one of these people that just, I don't do the status quo. Like, I push back at the status quo subconsciously, maybe, or something. Because if I see a Blood Angels tournament list online that's like, this tournament list has gone 6-0 and won a tournament, you could argue, I'd just be like, oh well, you should play that list. It's just won a tournament. It's gone 6-0. I never do that. I never copy that list. And it's not like I don't look at the list and go, oh, that's strong. That could be something I could run. It just doesn't even enter my head to copy it, right? So I do wonder if I'm just weird, or if I'm just like, there's something weird about me. I'm a cowboy, you're a maverick. I don't know. Yeah, I think you guys are being very nice. I think I'm weird. I'm okay being weird. Weird's the new cool, right? When I was growing up as a kid, it was not cool to be weird. Now I think it's pretty cool to be weird, or something like that. Or at least it's a lot more accepted, maybe is the correct analogy. It's a lot more accepted to be weird now than it was when I was growing up. I'll tell you that for nothing. So I'm keep playing this list with the 10 Hellblasters. No one really plays 10 Hellblasters and Angelic Inheritors, but that's me 3 wins and a trot with it now. Both squads of Hellblasters are starting inside an Impulsor, which I think nobody else is doing either, because it's probably stupid. But I'm doing it, and I'm winning games with it, and I ain't gonna stop. So that's sort of where I am at the moment in terms of 40k. I feel like they want to change our other detachments. Dude, the boat on them changing our detachments fucking sailed away like 18 months ago. I've made so many videos mentioning that nobody plays Angelic Host, nobody plays Lost Brethren. Unfortunately, that just keeps falling on dead ears at Games Workshop. I think everybody knows that. It's just not changing. I think it's pretty bad business practice to not change it, but there's no one plays them. They're shit. For a lack of a better word, they are shit. Color says, hello, I've been following your content for a while. I have been really liking it. I was curious in your opinion if you should go Angelic Inheritors or Lag for 1,000 points. Is one better than the other? Angelic Inheritors is harder to play, right? And Angelic Inheritors is a more shooting-based list, and Liberator Assault Group is probably a more combat-based list. I think if you're a newer player, I would recommend Liberator Assault Group. Because Angelic Inheritors does not hit as hard in his melee and needs very specific shooting units. Daniel says, Codex Detachments better for Salamanders, Imperial Fist, Raven Guard. What do you think GW reworking some of the lesser Blood Angels detachments? I honestly think the boat sailed, dude. I think they would have... When our Codex came out, like... I think it came out, like, last July. I could be wrong, maybe it was August. But our Codex came out, like, 13, 14, 15 months ago. They're not going to change those detachments. Jason says only a new release will... Yeah, they'll release new detachments before they fix those shit ones. Evening, Nasser. How you doing? Doesn't every army pretty much only have like 1 or 2 detachments? Yeah, I mean, to a certain extent, Kyle, it's kind of silly, to be honest. Like, why make detachments if no one's going to use them? Why even bother making them if they're just going to be quote-unquote shit, right? Like, just don't bother making them. I heard 11th edition is going to be vehicle focused. I don't think there's any credible source for 11th edition yet, dude. It's a year away. What's this, September? All right, it's 10 months away. I don't think anyone has any credible knowledge for 11th edition. And I'll go out on a limb and say that Valrak doesn't have credible knowledge for 11th edition either. You could tell him I said that in his stream if you really want, but the reason I'm going to say that, and I'll go out on a limb and say that, is because before 10th edition, Valrak was making all those videos about how Blood Angels were going to get new Terminators, and there was going to be new Terminators in the 11th edition box. You remember that? For Blood Angels? Like, so what happened to that box? You know, like... So I think people will start now making rumor content about 10th edition, and the reason that they will make rumor content is pretty simple, right? It gets a lot of views and clicks, and views and clicks get a lot of money. And hell, in this day and age, everybody needs and likes money, right? Everything's got more expensive these last few years. Everybody needs more money. I mean, like, I want to say I'm not going to make 11th edition rumor content. Like, I kind of want to just come out and say it, like, right now, right? Like, bottom line, I am not going to make 11th edition rumor content. But if there's, like, if there's a rumor where there's actually pictures of models and we can see them and they can be shared, then maybe I'll make a video, you know, like I said, it makes a lot of money, man. Yeah, see, that's why I'm saying I'm not going to lie. But yeah, no, I don't think there's not enough out there yet to say 11th edition is going to be a vehicle edition, right? I don't think there's enough out there. Even Valrak with his sources, it's too early. I bet you that the 11th edition box will change at least once between now and release, right? Like, because yeah, there was a whole rumor about Blood Angels were going to get like assault terminators. That rumor's like 4 years old at this point. And I like Valrak, dude. You'll sometimes see me in his streams. I think he's entertaining. I have banter with him, but I think it's too early. But yeah, I don't make clickbait rumor videos as much as... I mean, I could make more. I don't know. It's just, that's not really what my channel's about, I guess. But like, sometimes if there's a really solid leak where there's like screenshots and stuff, yeah, I'll make a video, because if it gets 20,000 views, that you know, that's worth my time and effort. I think that 11th edition, I think we'll get a lot of the final kits that are not Primaris made into Primaris, and then I think we'll get a full retirement of the non-Primaris Marines. So I think we'll see new Assault Terminators. I think that the existing Assault Terminator kit will be retired. I think we'll see new Vanguard Veterans. I think the existing Vanguard Veteran kit will be retired. I kind of have a feeling that we might see some of the Vindicator tanks / more Firstborn tanks retired, and another Grav tank come into the fold, whatever you want to call that. But I think there's a very good chance that Vanguard Veterans and Terminators are two units that will disappear for good, and maybe even tactical squads. Jason says, thanks for the weekly hobby hangouts, it helps me put a dent in my painting backlog. Jason, thanks for hanging out, dude. There'll be new Grey Knights because they're looking rough. Will Chaos Space Marines get upscaled? I mean, based on the fact that like everything else has been upscaled, like even Eldar and stuff, I think over time, yeah, any new releases for those factions will be eventually upscaled, right? I mean, the good thing with the upscaling is you can just buy base extenders and stick your current models onto bigger bases, and you don't necessarily need to buy the new stuff. There's a lot of the new stuff I haven't bought. I've just put my old stuff on base extenders. Maybe I'm a cheapskate, but I'm also... You know, I also think if I couldn't do that, I'd probably be a little bit angry, because it would be making my models redundant. I don't really like the general rule of like models having to be retired, if that makes sense. Especially like if you don't like the new sculpts, because I'm very indifferent on those new Sangre Guard sculpts. They're definitely not my favourite. But yeah, probably until we see like a picture of the box for 10th edition with like the box art, there'll be loads of people who make videos about what the 11th edition box might be or could be or will be. But I think it's all just hearsay, right? And I very much doubt it's going to be a vehicle heavy edition. If anything, vehicles are probably bad for Games Workshop, because it, you know, infantry are probably more, like 40k is probably more suited for an infantry type game than it is a vehicle heavy game to a certain extent. Like, I know there's some armies that are just all vehicles or that work well with lots of vehicles, but Infantry is probably like the backbone of the entire game, I feel like. BT says he's looking forward to the Orc refresh. Boris the Blade, good afternoon, Boris. James says, is it worth picking up the current Blood Angels Assault Terminator box before it's retired? It's a very cool box. The current box. It has some very cool and unique sculpts. And when it's retired, it'll probably be retired the same way the Death Company retired, and it just doesn't exist anymore. It's going to be impossible to get your hands on it. If you buy it now and just sit on it, it'll double or triple on eBay. Because if you go on eBay and you want to buy a Skoda Sangre Guard, the firstborn ones, they cost 3 times. They're 3 times retail, maybe even more. So even if you buy it and then decide you're not going to do anything with it, you're still going to be able to make your money back and then some. I would say it's a cool box and you should buy it. But I mean, be prepared that it is probably going to be replaced. So, could I get a few more likes on the stream? We've got 33 people in the house. We got 13 likes. Let me show you this thing. I showed it off on one of my streams like a couple of weeks ago now. But I've been working on Unit Smash. Let me show you this. Because it's coming along nicely. I've made improvements since last time I showed it. So this is Unit Smash. So you need to be a channel member, or I'll do the Patreon login next. I haven't got there yet, but and it's still testing. So log into Unit Smash. This is what you see, and you've got weapon templates, defensive templates, and then Unit Smasher, right? So if you go into Unit Smasher, you can be like, I want to load a weapon template. Oh, hold on. I need to pull the newest version from source control. Damn it. Give me one sec. I should have done this before the stream started. It's okay. It'll just take me 2 seconds to fix this. It just doesn't have the last round of updates that I was doing on it because I was doing them on my laptop. Alright. Here. Let me run it again. Right, Unit Smash. So, go into like Unit Smasher. Yeah, how do you know I'm a dev in real life? This is how you know I'm a dev in real life. So load my weapon templates. So I go like, I want to load Blood Angels. I want to load Plasma Inceptors. So here's my Plasma Inceptors. 6 models, 2 attacks, Ballistic Skill 3 up, Strength 8, AP 3, Damage 3. I am going to give them, for example, sustained hits. Cool. I want to load my defensive unit. That would be, let's say it's going to be Dark Angels, Deathwing Knights. Let's say they're in cover, so they get +1 to their save. Actually, I don't think that will change anything because -3 to -2. That won't actually change anything. They are, Deathwing Knights are -1 damage though, so -1 damage there. Calculate damage, and it'll show you, right, like the total number of hits you made was 12, or the total number of hits you had was 12. You hit 83% of the time, so you got 10 hits and you got 2 sustained hits. Then your wound roll. Obviously, I forgot that Plasma Inceptors have reroll wounds, so let's click that. You can see my wound roll was 66.7. Recalculate it, it's now 88, that's right. So basically 9 went through, they save on a 4-up, 50% of the time. So we kill 1, 2, and 22% of the third, Terminator, right? And then I can use Oath of Moment on these guys as well to give them more chance to hit. Let's do that. Where the hell is it? Reroll hits. calculate, and then you're going to be like, oh right, so we almost kill 3 with Oath of Moment. But this is coming along pretty nicely, right? So weapon templates. You can see the templates that I've added for testing. We can edit any of them. We can filter them by armies. We can add new templates. So I could be like, you know, here's a new template, model, strength, damage, what army it belongs to. We'd add a defensive template. Here's the ones I added again. You know, just add a template, models, wounds, toughness, save, invulnerable, feel no pain. Choose what army it belongs to, save it. Then when you add the template, you go back to here in the main page and you go back into Unit Smash and then just be able to load whatever you need, right? So this is a program that I've been working on. I think like I've called this version 1.0, but I think this is ready for me to put out for people to test. Because there's a lot of variables here, right? Like +1 to hit, blast, lethal, sustained, reroll hits. So I'm sure that maybe I've made a mistake somewhere, but it's all coded, it's all done, it's all ready to rock, I think. So if you like that, I'm gonna try and get that out for testing to channel members in the next little while here. I haven't quite decided how I'm hosting it or whatnot, but I do think it's very close to think it's very close to being ready to release. And then if you're a channel member, you just be able to log in and just use that tool for any calculations you might want to make, right? So simple as that. I know there's some other tools that do that, like I think there's one called Unit Crunch. I think there's one called Adept Roll. I think they're like apps on your phone, but mine's just going to be on the website. You just log it. I'm an old school type guy. I prefer using websites than apps, man. I actually, one of my banks moved. They basically said like you can no longer log into your bank account on the website. You have to do it on your phone, and I almost quit the bank because I was like, yeah, because that's what I want to look at my bank statement on, a tiny little phone screen compared to my desktop. Like, that makes no sense to me. I mean, you can see like 5 lines of your bank statement on your phone, right? I was like, why the fuck are you moving to an app and removing the ability to log in on the website? Like, this makes no sense. But okay, fine. So I'm going to be on the website. Unit Crunch is web-based. Oh, well, the other one must be an app. This is a Sternguard, like a converted Sternguard that I'm painting right now. So, yeah, he's like a Sternguard sergeant. I've got this Apothecary that I'm also going to be doing a bit of work on, and then I've got Cotiez, who is now glued onto the 40mm base. God, that looks crazy. And we'll be doing a little bit of work on him as well, I guess. Hello, Kyle. Could you let even non-members post lists on there? Yeah, I mean, I don't see why not. I haven't really worked out if. Well, I think if I'll have to see actually, because I don't know. I don't know what the bandwidth is going to cost for it. That's like my main question is like, how much is it going to cost me to host this website if lots and lots of people are using it? Because I hadn't planned to like put ads or anything on it to like help pay for it. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's why I was thinking members. How old is that Cotiez model? Well, this is the Finecast one, and I didn't like the head on it, so I just cut off the head and stuck on a Space Marine head, and I've had a lot of negative feedback about that. People don't like it when I fuck with the heads, apparently. Like how I put the Primaris head on the Terminator, people really hated that as well. So apparently you're not allowed to build like a Frankenstein monster in Warhammer 40,000. People get very upset when you Frankenstein heads onto guys. But I figured, like, at the time when I put the head on him, I was like, well, I only play Space Marines. So why would it not make sense that, like, if Cotiez is running around with a bunch of Space Marines, maybe he would put on a Space Marine helmet, right? Because wouldn't that let him communicate and stuff with them? I don't know. But yeah, so I put a Space Marine helmet on him because I'm weird. But yeah, this is the Finecast version, so it's old. How old I don't really know, but it's an oldie. You can tell by the really harsh edges on some of the Finecast, so like the paint just doesn't adhere to it very well at all. I think I put the Terminator. I think I put the head on. I don't like. So my painting, if we go back 10 years, my painting of faces was very, very bad. So I just didn't do it. I feel like my fine detail work, just from painting like every week now, like I paint every week, and I've painted every week for like 10 years. So this guy, when I got him, I probably got him 5, 6, 7, 8 years ago or something, and at that point I just couldn't do faces. So I just replaced his head. Usually if the model had an unhelmeted head, I would just replace it. So this guy was on that point, but I feel like I could do an okay job now because my fine detail work has got a lot better. Fine detail work really just comes down to practice, right? If you do enough practice on anything, you'll get good. The helmet is the size of the chest. Yeah, the helmet is way too big. I think that's why people were upset that I did it. And I think, to be honest, when I started taking off his head, I didn't probably realise how much bigger that helmet was. And I remember his head was a nightmare to get off, because it was like attached to the body, it was all one piece. Like, it's just a single Finecast piece. It wasn't like I had a choice. It wasn't like I could just not put the head on, if that makes sense, right? But it's definitely not the one you'd be tempted to buy the new release. Yeah, well, unless the new release is stunning, like the new release of Dante was very cool, the new release of Mephiston was very cool. I do have the new release of Astaroth and Lamartas, but I haven't done anything with them, but I thought it was cool. If the new release is cool, I'll buy it. If it's like bog standard average, like the new Sangre Guard, I'm like, I don't care. The new release needs to make me care, right? I'm not going to try and take that helmet. Maybe the Crimson Lord helmet would be better at this point. I'm not trying to take it off. Stu said, I've just had a game against the new Black Templars and got crushed. He dumped 2 Land Raiders on the middle objectives and I could not shift them. My Vindicators properly whiffed. Ugh, if Vindicators whiff in games, sometimes that just happens, man. Land Raiders are an interesting one, and that's one of the reasons that I'm really liking Cotias, right? Because if I was, like, when you're fighting against Land Raiders with Vindicator tanks, they're going to pop smoke, so they've got cover, and they can pop Armor of Contempt, and then you're only AP 1 into them. And if you're only AP 1 into the Land Raiders, they can just save that pretty reliably, right? Like, it's just saving on 3s. It's not like you've got massive amounts of weight of fire from the Vindicator tank. I mean, best case, what your Vindicator tank gets like 8 hits, 5 wounds or something. Like if you got 5 wounds on a Land Raider with a Vindicator tank, you'd probably be quite happy from a Vindicator. So you get 5 wounds on it, and then he's just saving on 3s. Alright, sure, 1 goes through, you roll the d6, it's like a 3. Even if it's a 6, he's still got 10 wounds left. Yeah, it can be rough. There's one thing that I've been liking about Cotias is the ignore cover. So in that situation, you could just be like, ah, fuck it, the Land Raider doesn't get cover, because I know that I need to actually do some real damage against that Land Raider. So, because people asked me, actually, because I took Cotias, one of the reasons I started putting them on my list was to try and get that extra CP, right? Like, if my opponent's getting an extra CP, I get one on a 2-up as well. The 3 enemies that I've fought since I put them in my list have not had any additional CP regeneration. So the 3 games I've played, I've had no extra additional regeneration from having Courtiers in the list. So people were like saying in the stream, they're like, do you still think Courtiers is worth it? And I was like, do you know what? I think he's worth it because of the ignore cover. Because when you... Like, my Angelic Inheritors list really only has two shooting weapon types, right? It has plasma guns, or 3, I guess. Plasma guns, plasma exterminators, and vindicator tanks. And they're all AP3. And I guess when you just say the unit that we really need to kill is going to be ignore cover, so it keeps the AP nice and high, I think that's meaningful. Or at least it's felt meaningful in the games that I've played. So I'm gonna at least keep Courtiers in my list for now. More practice with them, more games. We'll see how it goes. Yeah, that's exactly what he did. He smoked it and then he Armor of Contempt it. New Sangre Guard are great with the old wings, but that's an expensive kit bash. That's a very expensive kit bash in that the old wings are now like 3 times their original retail on eBay, right? But I guess if you've got the money, blow it, because the old wings are dope. I love the old Sangre Guard wings. One of my patrons messaged me saying he was going to... said he was going to send me a set of the old Sangre Guard wings, and I almost feel like it's too generous to take them from him. Because they're just going to be so rare now. But a very nice offer, wasn't it? Would it be better to spend the extra 20 points to get the Hail Strike? Well, I mean, the cover is a bonus, right? Like, I'm taking him for the CP regeneration, because that's what I really wanted. I want to be playing Angelic Inheritors where I actually have CP so I can pick up my Plasma Inceptors and make them, like, untargetable every turn. That's the dream. Because I think the Plasma Inceptors and Angelic Inheritors are, like, no fucking joke, man. They're so good. What do I have Courtiers joined to? Intercessors. We're doing Sticky, basically, with Courtiers. Sticky, and... yeah, I mean, we're just Sticky and stuff. There's an Impulsor there, so we can jump in as well if we need to. In GT tournaments, can you get away as deploying tactical Marine figures as intercessors? Yes, I think nobody cares. It's a Marine with a bolt gun, yeah, I think it would be fine. You might just need to tell your tournament organizer, but I don't think anyone's going to care. It's such a like-for-like swap, if that makes sense. I think it would be fine. I also forgot that the Crusaders have a righteous zeal that lets them move after I shoot them. They moved into engagement range and then it neglected my lag buffs. God, I hate that when I'm playing World Eaters as well, where you shoot them and then they engage into you and then you don't get your charge bonus. It's just like such a bad proposition, right? I tend to ask forgiveness, not permission, at tournaments with proxies. None of my stuff is outlandish, no one has ever complained. Yeah, I mean, it takes 2 seconds to send your tournament organizer a message beforehand as well, and I think for the most part, any decent tournament organizer is not going to care. But yeah, I mean, to be honest with you, I've been fielding a lot of Firstborn models just rebased to the Primaris size base, and I haven't asked about any of those. And no one said, like, how dare you field those Firstborn Sangre Guard on resized bases? Because that's what I've been doing, right? Like, I've got no intention of trying to replace my 30 Sangre Guard on resized base with the new models. I mean, that would cost I don't even know, what does 3 Sanguinary Guard cost these days? I imagine 40 bucks. So it costs the best part of like 150, 200 bucks, and then I also need to paint them? Nah, fuck that. I'm not doing that. That's ridiculous. Especially when I think the Firstborn ones actually look better as well. That's the ironic thing. If the new ones look cooler, at least I would have had motivation to do it. But I do think the Firstborn ones look better. Why, GW? Why? The age-old question. Is there anything in the rule about that says anything about new models? What you mean about having to field the new models? £37 for the models, and you've got to print or get third-party backpacks as well. Yeah, it's rough, isn't it? Yeah, I think that's just why I've basically decided I'm not doing it, man. But we already established in this stream that I'm a maverick, so don't let... If you're willing to do it, go for it. I'm not doing it. My Sanguinary Guard, I think, forever will be Firstborn models on 40mm bases. And if they ever change their bases again, I would just rebase those guys again onto whatever size bases they need to be. I don't even like the new ones, man. It's a little bit sad, but it's true. Could break into that Metallica song, sad but true. I'm your dream, make it real. You ever go back to like super old albums like that, right? It's a random... my streams on Saturday nights do get quite random at times. But, like, go back to... You know, like, these days you don't listen to albums, right? You just go into Spotify or YouTube and you listen to a song. Or one song and then you change it to another song that you care about. Whereas, like, back when we were young, we had to listen to albums, because that's all you could afford. You bought one album, and that one album had to last you, like, 2 months till you could buy another album or something, right? So I've been trying to do this thing where I listen to old albums, actually, like, the whole fucking album, start to finish. It's good, man. I miss listening to albums. I feel like nobody does it anymore. New models felt like a Stormcast release. Yeah, their helmets were very Stormcast, weren't they? Like, they're just one step too far. I don't like their helmet. I don't like the new helmets at all. I've used a couple of them on, like, characters and stuff, but yeah, just Unjustice was all. Unjustice for All was my favourite Metallica album. I really enjoyed Justice for All, I must admit. What's the song they never play live? I think it's the third song on that album, the one that builds really, really slowly. That's going to annoy me now, I'm going to have to look that up. Is it not like, do you see what I see? Eye of the Beholder. I'm sure that's the one. That's like the song that nobody cares about on Justice for All. I think it's banging, man. Yeah, that's how it starts. Do you see what I see? The most recent performance of that song live apparently, was July 14, 1989. They haven't played it live in 36 years. That's fucking crazy. Okay. Yeah, I think I remember reading an interview saying that they hated that song for some reason. I like it, man. Good song. Maybe it's just because it's so different. Maybe that, yeah, we're back to me being fucking weird and different, aren't we? God damn it. Can't even like like the right songs on the Metallica albums. Jesus Christ. I mean, I like the other ones on that album as well, but I just really like that one. I bought my daughter her first Metallica top. She's only 5. It's like I don't think it came in a kid size. It's just like the small woman size. So it's probably for like a young adult. But I've got it. I figure she'll fit it in a couple of years. So I don't get it. If Cotius isn't generating CP and you don't really need a character for the intercessors, why are you taking him? Well, he does something else for the intercessors, right? He lets me use my reroll hits and wounds of 1. He lets me well, I mean, he does bring a 3 damage Thunderhammer. I have got quite a lot of value out of the removing the ability for them to give cover, right? Like the removal of cover against the Death Guard was really good actually against like all the Plague Marines. It was just like, let me remove all your Plague Marine cover, and then like, yes, you can just save against my Plasma Fire on 6s, bye Plague Marines. And then yeah, I mean, I also didn't realise this. I'm allowed to then use my stratagem to give the whole unit lone operatives because they're led by a character. I haven't done that on my live games yet because I didn't realise I was allowed to do it, but that is apparently valid. So if I wanted my intercessors to become lone operatives, they could become lone operatives. But the main reason I did take it was to get more CP. And I think I will hopefully eventually play an enemy where I get like 4 extra CP from the game. So we'll see. I mean, I'm not going to rush out and drop it. Removing cover from Knights was incredible the other week. Yeah, I mean, the removing cover has been more exciting than I really thought it would be. Because it's so hard with infantry now. You know, when it's like your whole unit needs to see basically the whole enemy unit or they get cover. And all these terrain layouts are just full of all these ruins. It's fucking hard to not give enemies cover. So just being able to remove it has actually been much stronger than I expected. Especially, like, Angelic Inheritors is a shooting detachment, right? Like, my Angelic Inheritors list has 10 Hellblasters, 6 Inceptors, and 2 Vindicator tanks. You know, that's 800 and some points of shooting, I think. 2 Vindicators is like 370. 10 Hellblasters is 290, so that's 590. Yeah, it's like, that's 830 points of shooting. And he potentially makes all that shooting better, right? Because he removes cover. And then, in the worst case, when he can't help that shooting, the regular intercessors with their like 20 bolt rifle shots now, also potentially ignoring cover, because he's just gonna, at that point, he's just gonna ignore the unit that they shoot at. It actually makes their AP1 useful as well, because I guess like AP1, your opponent would just be like, oh, I got cover, let me save this on 2s or 3s. Well, no, you've got cover, sure, but I've just ignored it, so the AP1 from the 20 bolters is actually something. It's not massive, but it's something. So yeah, I'm okay with giving Inquisitor courtiers a few more chances in my list. And I guess eventually when I do get those extra CP, we'll see how that feels. Because he feels okay right now not giving those extra CP. So I guess when he starts giving those extra CP, he might feel really, really damn useful and or powerful. I don't know. I like to lose some games before I change my lists. Because I feel like when you lose, you sort of see what's been doing poorly or whatnot, and I'm sure I'm going to lose soonish. And I'm not going to another tournament, I think, until January. So I've got a little bit of time to practice and figure out what's going to be. But also, the last thing I feel like I should probably say, Calgar, is like, I just don't always take the strongest meta stuff all the, like, I took Mephiston to a tournament last edition because I wanted to take him to a tournament last edition. I remember, like, on the streams running up to the tournament, you know, like, people were in my chat, or whatever you call it. Yeah, I feel like we can call it my chat. Like, people were in the chat on the Wednesday night battle show saying, like, don't take Mephiston to this tournament. He's not reliable enough. Don't take him, don't take him. And I was like, but I want to take him because that's what I want to play right now. And I took him and he wasn't reliable enough and it was the wrong decision. And, you know, I probably still enjoyed having him at the tournament though, right? Like, I still, that was the list I'd practiced. That's what I wanted to run. I'm not, quote, like, I'm not a perfect player. I'm not even a pro player, right? Like, I'm just, the people that are pros at Warhammer 40,000 are playing, like, how often are they playing this game? Like, the guy that owns the Vanguard Tactics channel, Steven, I don't know if you know him, maybe you know him. But, like, he didn't get accepted to the English team for 40k because apparently he doesn't play the game enough to get accepted, right? And, like, he's a guy that's flying all over the world, running seminars on how to get better at 40k. But I guess, like, because he doesn't play 5 games a week or whatever arbitrary value that they've determined is the value, he didn't get accepted into, like, the English national team, which I think is fine. I mean, if that's the rules and you need to play 5 games a week to be in the team, that's the rules, right? But, like, I'm not even close to that, man, right? Like, I guess that's my point I'm trying to make. Like, I play 1 game a week. And sometimes, truth be told, 1 game a week can be a bit much for me, right? Like, some weeks I'm just like, if I've played 5 games of 40k at the weekend at a tournament, right? Like, I've gone on Saturday and I've played 40k all day Saturday, and then I've gone back on Sunday and I've played 2 more games. I don't want to play on Wednesday night, man. It's not that I don't like the game, it's just like, I feel like all I've done the last couple of days is play Warhammer, so it's like, I want a break, I want to do something else. So quite often, if I go to a tournament at a weekend on Wednesday night, which is usually my battle report night, I will just paint. You know, you'll quite often catch me on just painting on the Wednesday. And, like, I get, like, bottom line is I get a lot more views. Like, we talked about this earlier in the stream, right? Like, I get a lot more views on battle reports than I do on painting streams. Like, probably to a tune of, like, 10 to 1. So like I would get 10 times the ad revenue for doing a battle report than I would get for just chilling out, being here painting. But like if I've played 5 games already that week, I'm like, I feel like it's too much for me, maybe. But yeah, that's it, right? So, why am I painting Inquisitors? Because he's in my list at the moment. I'm playing him. And I'm going to keep playing him. I think he works well in Angelic Inheritors. Honestly, I've been having fun with him. But yeah, so I'm not even close to those levels of pro players. I honestly don't know how those guys do it. Maybe it's just they're younger, or maybe I don't know. I sometimes wonder if it's like, because I obviously make tactics videos every week, and that does take a lot of time, and that does take effort, and that does borderline sometimes on making 40k feel like a job, right? Like, for example, although on my channel every week you see a tactics video, right? Like every Friday you can almost without doubt log in and see a tactics video. There is some weeks where I sit down to make that video and I was like, I've got no fucking idea what I'm doing for this week's video. You know, like any creative sort of thing, you can come up short, and I'm like, I don't know what I'm going to do, and I don't have anything planned, and I only have a finite hours each week because I've obviously got a day job to make that video, so I can't procrastinate. So like on the nights that I'm working on it, if I'm like 2 hours in and I still don't have a good idea, it's like, you need to have an idea like right now and make that video. So maybe like I do think that if I didn't do that, maybe I could play more 40k every week. But like where it is for me, like if I try and do too much, because people always ask me like, John, why don't you play TTS? Why don't you get more games of TTS on the channel? And I was like, but I'm already doing 40k stuff 6 nights a week. And I think if I try and do any more, then it definitely pushes into the feeling of like, is this now a job? And maybe that's where it would be weird for me, right? Like, Calgar tried Draxus a couple of weeks back. So Draxus is interesting because of the lone operative stuff, right? Pros are averaging several games a day. Yeah, I mean, it's not like I dislike playing several games a day. I just think that if I do that 2 or 3 days in a row, I need a break. Mr. Box is on a different level. Yeah, so Steven's probably got the same problem I have, right? Like, he's running a business. He's trying to create content all the time. How can he fit in any more? How can he fit in any more games of 40k each week? He can't. He'd have to give up something, I guess. But because he can't do that, he can't get into the pro team. It's tough, man. Priorities, I guess. Kevin says summertime is always less Warhammer. Yeah, I noticed that on my channel as well in the analytics. Like videos, my views over time always go down in the summer, right? Like I just get got a fucking hair in my peripheral vision here. That's annoying me. I just get less. I just always get less views in the summer. I guess that's because people like to go outside and stuff, which is fine. I like to go outside in the summer, just the same as everyone else. But yeah, I feel like at some point I do want to get, like I haven't learned how to use Tabletop Simulator. I feel like I do want to get it, and I do want to do a game or two on the channel. But every time someone brings it up, I just think to myself, like, where have I got time to learn how to use Tabletop Simulator? I've seen a few other channels use it actually. The guy Tactical Tortoise, he's often using it. They don't often play games to the end. Who doesn't play games to the end? Sorry, the pros. They just see who's gonna just sort of get the start. Yeah, I suppose. I guess if you get the start of the game going the way you like it, that's all you need to practice, right? There's a few things we pronounce tortoise different, do we? Tortoise. The other word that I didn't realise, somebody mentioned in the tactics video, is that there is a word, out with, that no one out with Scotland uses. I did not even know that was a thing, because someone was like, I just learned that there's such a word as out with, and it's a word that's only used with... It's a Scottish word, apparently. I was like, oh my god, I didn't even know that you people in, I guess, England and America, other English-speaking countries or whatever, you don't use the word out with. Which is crazy. I had no idea that was a Scottish-only word. So I have to be more conscious about saying out with, because apparently some people don't know what it means. How do you guys use it? I must have used it in this week's tactics video, because how else would the comment have come up? So what does it mean? Well, I went on Google. Let me see. You've put me on the spot. I'm not sure I can explain it. Out with. Or is it out with? Yeah, this is what it came up with. Realising that the word out with is not used outside of Scotland, in order to describe it, you have to use it. The word out with is not used out with Scotland. So it basically means like it's not used anywhere else but Scotland, right? It's so random. I've checked the Oxford Dictionary and there's a Scottish word. I had no idea it was unique to us, and I thought I was losing my mind when Outlook said it couldn't comprehend what I was trying to write. I'm trying to think what sentence I could have possibly said. Oh, I probably said like something like, keep your troops out with 18 inches. Would that not make sense? I suppose you could say outside 18 inches, but yeah, like, if you're bringing your plasma scepters, it probably was something like, I was talking about the plasma scepters, so it was like, bring your plasma scepters down somewhere you can shoot the opponent, and after you've killed that unit, you are still out with 18 inches of return fire. Which I suppose you could have just said outside of 18 inches and it would have been sort of the same thing. But I had no idea it was a Scottish only word until like this week. I was like, when someone said it in the comments, they were like, someone was like, I've just learned that out with is a word. I was like, what do you mean you've just learned it's a word? It's a Scottish word. That's weird, man. I suppose it's that thing with like, in Britain we say a car. We say the car boot, and you guys say the trunk. And then we say the pavement, and you guys say the sidewalk. You know, it's just weird nuances of English, I guess. Well, now you can say out with as a single word, and people will not know what you're talking about. Let's assume you put in the time to learn TTS. That opens the possibilities that you can do battle reports as a live stream with a far broader number of opponents than you can conceivably visit in Scotland. Yeah, but I think my problem with that is I'm still in my house. And I'm still sat at a desk on a computer. Like, I quite like going away from my house to play Warhammer. And like going to have banter and chat and roll dice. Hello, Carl. But yeah, I mean, I feel like this TTS thing just keeps coming up, and I feel like at some point I'm just going to have to bite the bullet and learn how to use TTS. But I would just rather go somewhere physical and play Warhammer physically. Right? Every day's a school day. I didn't realise that was a Scottish only thing either. I didn't realise that was a Scottish only thing either. Weird. Us Scots, man. Jason says that TTS feels more sterile. Yeah, I think that's my worry about it. But hey, I've got a new opponent coming on this week anyway. Wednesday night we're playing Dark Angels. He's bringing 10 Deathwing Knights. He's bringing the Lion. We haven't had that on the... well, I tell you, I don't think we've ever had the Lion on the channel, so that's good. And I just did a video this week about how much of a fucking nightmare Deathwing Knights are, so that'll be perfect. We can actually see my list fall apart against the Deathwing Knights. God, they're so hard to kill, aren't they? I feel like it's a waste shooting Vindicator tanks at them, but I think that's the only thing I've got that can realistically kill a few of them, you know? Like, even the Plasma Inceptors do not kill very many Deathwing Knights. Even if you use Oath, even if you use Sustained. Naheem says, I hear you, man. I just go to the hobby shop to build my tank rather than doing it at home. Yeah, I mean, that's one of the things that the stream has really given me, is like, when you're sitting building stuff, it's nice to have people to chat to, or when you're sitting painting, it's nice to have people to chat to. So I think that's probably my worry about TTS. It's probably not just a worry, it's probably why I haven't committed to doing it, because it's like, I like getting away from my house to play a game of Warhammer. Why would I change that, you know? I feel like the social side is one of the best sides of Warhammer, probably. Am I adding any Sternguard to my list? This guy's actually been running as the sergeant for my squad of intercessors, but I have run Sternguard recently, and I do have this guy is a Sternguard, but I'm just running him as he's just running as an intercessor with a power fist, honestly. Because intercessors need to have power fists, right? No, if people like TTS, man, by all means play TTS. That guy that I was talking about, Tactical Tortoise, he's playing TTS on his channel all the time to learn and do tactics. And I think if you want to watch TTS stuff, by all means, like, check out Tactical Tortoise. He actually raided me one time on Twitch, so he sent me a bunch of like Twitch members. Not that I have that many people that watch on Twitch, but he did raid me on Twitch. So if you've never heard of Tactical Tortoise, you could easily check him out. He's doing TTS stuff pretty regular. Excuse me, third time lucky, regularly. So by all means, you know, check out other creators that are doing TTS. Maybe it'll come for me, but it's just not a priority for me right now, I guess. I would rather find opponents I can have the banter with. I can get them on the channel. We can have fun. We can play a game. It's all live. You know. That's better for me. That's the vibe I'm looking for, I guess. Yeah, I mean, I think it's a matter of time before I eventually do it. Maybe, I think I've said the last couple of Steam sales I'll need to pick up TTS, because I don't actually own TTS. So maybe next time Steam do a sale, I'll get it. Making fun of Colin is half the reason the streams are so good. It felt so good to finally beat his Death Guard after getting waxed so many times by them when they were under costed. Yeah, I will. I will eventually get it, I guess. I guess when I do, I will post about it. Nobody says can't really relate to TTS. Yeah, I mean, that's what I was trying to say. I feel like it doesn't excite me. So I've done streams of 40k when I've been down on the meta, or when I've not been happy with things, or maybe there's been something going on in my life that's made me not happy. And I think when you're not happy, it comes across, right? You know, like, I've watched other creators when they're obviously not like in a good mental space, and it's like it comes across very obvious that you're not having fun, or you're not enjoying it, or you don't want to be there. So like, I guess that's just the issue with if I'd rather, I don't know, we'll see. Maybe one day. God, these old Finecast models are horrific though, right? Like the detail on them and everything, it's just... I can see why they upgraded them. Kevin says, I've been pretty happy all edition. Hello, how are you? How, question mark. Interesting name. Is that like the... I was going to say, it's like the... It's like a little bit of the model like flaking off there or something. What the hell is that? Like, there's a little bit of... What is that? I don't think it's dirt. It's either a flake of paint or it was something else. Thanks, Marcus. I think I'll well, it'll be hard to do worse than my last GT. But I think I feel like I've settled on something that maybe suits my playstyle finally. Because my playstyle isn't standard Blood Angels at all, right? Like, I always have some wacky stuff. Always have something different than what's doing well in the meta. So maybe by the next tournament I'll have something sorted out. I really like to win another GT. I'd really like to win Best Sportsmanship again as well, though, because I think Best Sportsman is just as hard to win as Best Player, right? In some ways, Best Sportsmanship is the... Yeah, I think it's big to win that. I think it's important to win that as well. I don't know why my name is How, question mark. Okay, well, I mean, you typed it in. It said name on the screen and you typed How, question mark. That's how it's How, question mark, yeah? I like orcs. I like to kill orcs. Do you know what? I would not change the fact that I ran the Storm Raven at the last GT Highland Phoenix, because I think the Storm Raven will move to Legends in 11th edition, so at least I can say I ran it to GT before it went to Legends, because I feel like they have been legendsing a lot of stuff, right? And I don't know if I feel like there's necessarily a huge place for flyers in the current iteration of 40k. In the league I was in for 3rd edition, I never managed to come first, but I won Best Sportsmanship several seasons in a row. Well then, there you go. I think it's just as important as coming first, man. You know, like, the last GT I was at, I actually got a message, like, the night before I was going to the event, from my first opponent, saying how happy he was that he was playing me first. Because he knew, like, he basically sent me a message saying, like, I'm playing you first at the event, I'm really happy about that, because I know how legitimate a player you are, and that we'll just have a great game. And I was like, oh dude, that's nice, thanks for messaging me. And then I basically returned the sentiment, because I've played him before and it had been a good game before and stuff. But I mean, that's what you want, right? Like, you want to be going to a tournament and knowing that your opponent's going to be like a really good, fun, fair opponent. It makes all the difference, honestly. Like, I would rather go to a tournament and lose my games and play against good, legitimate, like, fair playing opponents than beat people who are just difficult to play against, right? Like, it just sucks the fun out of it to a certain extent. I mean, everyone can make a mistake, but, you know... I think I've had this Primaris Apothecary for the best part of, like, 9 years or something. And obviously I've never painted them. So it's probably good that I'm playing the Hellblasters at the moment, because it gives me a reason to get this Apothecary painted. And sometimes I like coming back to units that I haven't been playing, that aren't competitive, or I've never been competitive because it does eventually get me to finish their damn paint jobs. So I guess this is one of those cases where, like, I just haven't been playing this apothecary, so he just hasn't been painted. So it'll be really good to, quote unquote, get him painted, right? Storm Ravens will become a mandatory auto-take before they go to Legends. I doubt it, Robert. I don't think Storm Ravens are going to be a unit in 11th edition. I really don't. Was the Apothecary really worth it in the last 3 games? In one of the games he was. I think in one of the games he brought back like 4 Hellblasters. In one of the games he did fuck all. And in one of the games... trying to think, what did I beat? I beat Votann, I beat Death Guard, and I beat Ultramarines. I think he maybe did a couple of revives against Ultramarines. So maybe it's been like, if you average it over the 3 games I've played, he probably resurrected 2 models per game on average. So if a Hellblaster is 22 points, then he gave me 44 points back on average. He costs 50. So if he's bringing back 44 per turn, or sorry, if he's bringing back on average about 44 per game, then basically what you're telling me is for 6 points, because that's all he was costing me at that point then, for 6 points he's giving me reroll hits and wounds of 1 on the Hellblasters. So I would say that's valuable, and also because he's with that unit, I then can use all the stratagems on that unit, that like I can make that unit lone operative, right? So like based on that, I'd say yeah, that is valuable. But obviously he's going to have good games and bad games, right? If you lose your entire unit of Hellblasters in one turn, yeah, he's worthless. But if you shoot and then one dies, then you res that one, and then they all shoot again, and then one dies, and then you res that one, and then they all shoot again, and then one dies. Remember, they are shooting again potentially when they die. Then yeah, I think he is valuable, or he has been valuable. So yeah, I'm okay. I'm okay with Apothecary. I'm keeping him for now. Hello, Foz. Good evening. Couldn't use the Apothecary Biologist model? I mean, I could. I haven't painted that one either, to be honest with you. Not fully. My painting is always very much based on what's competitive and what's not competitive, and if I haven't been using a model in my competitive army list, then the chances of it being painted are pretty slim. Does anyone know how to play orcs here? I'm not any sort of expert on orcs. I'm trying to think if I know a channel that just covers orcs specifically. There's got to be does anyone in chat know a YouTube channel that covers orcs specifically? Roll Well? Is that actually a channel? Evening, Miguel. How you doing? Hello, Lord Commander Dante. How you doing? Crumping. Oh yeah, Happy Crumping Gaming. There's one. He does cover a bit of orcs. I think Crumping with a K. I think you're trolling now. Does anyone know how to play Space Marines? Yeah, well, you're in the right place for Space Marines, dude. I was genuinely trying to help you. I feel like I forgot to paint the second coat of red onto the shoulder pad, so I've just added a bunch of extra work for myself. I've got to be very careful not to touch these other colours. I've not just done it for this shoulder pad, I've done it for both, and I maybe need to decide what I want to do with this guy's cloak as well. Like, is he gonna have a... I've been doing this thing where I'm doing like a purple cloak, so maybe like a purple edge, purple border on the cloak or something. Maybe I'll leave the cloak a slightly darker red, and then obviously I have to decide what we're doing with this guy on the ground. Alright, how? Good evening, Phil. How's things? Were you at a tournament today, Phil? Or are you still at the tournament today? I thought you were at a tournament. Just finished round 2? Tell us you're 2-0. Tell us the good news. Well, maybe if you've come into the stream, you're here to chill now. It hasn't gone your way, Phil, has it? Yeah, I know, it's a real shame I can't fit that second apothecary, and I don't know what I would change, Highland Phoenix. I am actually quite enjoying running Hellblasters with apothecary. I mean, it's been working fine with just the one though, right? I think I hear one of my kids awake. I'll be right back. Sorry, man, my daughter is having a bit of a nightmare, I think. I have a nice conversion for the Sangre High Priest, just the rules were a bit better. I need to make a video on the Sangre Priest actually and see if there's like something we're missing. You know, like, he does seem very underwhelming. Like, what are we missing? How do we use the Sangre Priest? I honestly don't know what the answer is. The second apothecary sounds better than Cotia's. Well, you gotta give Cotia's a try, man, because I think he's been quite useful. If you're fighting armies with no invuln saves, then I think Cotia's is actually really useful. Well, assuming you've got enough high AP firepower, and my list's just built around high AP firepower, right? Have you considered a librarian with the Hellblasters? They can eat his hazardous. I was running the librarian with the Hellblasters for a little while in Stormlands. I mean, it's not like I didn't like it. It's just more expensive sometimes, and sometimes you just have to take cheap stuff, right? I mean, the thing is, if somebody wants those Hellblasters dead, they'll be dead, right? I don't know if a 4-up makes massive amounts of help, because the thing is, your Hellblasters be in cover, probably. I don't know. I just don't have the points for a lieutenant. I really want the 9 Sangre Guard. I really want I really want the 6 plasmas. I really want the 2 Vindicator tanks. You know, like, when you start adding all that up, that shit's expensive. Oh, Phil, thank you so much for the gifted, dude. You are very, very generous. Giving gifted subs in the middle of a tournament, Phil. You are... You're next level, bro. Thank you. I hope you win your event. Go forth and smash it, dude. Thank you so much for the gifted subs. 5 gifted, dude. Anyone else considering 12 Inceptors? Ugh, they're expensive, man. No invuln save on them. I mean, I like them, but they're expensive. I think you definitely want 6.
I have awoken.
I mean, the only way you could probably play 12 is if you just said, fuck it, no Vindicator tanks, but I feel like the Vindicator tanks are a somewhat critical piece of that puzzle. Phil's looking forward to the Raven Guard detachment. I saw some of the new combat patrols were out for sale today. But I've heard a few people say the Raven Guard detachment might be good for like a... Not like a... Obviously not Blood Angels, but some sort of like hybrid type list or something. You're running 3 Vindicator tanks today. I felt like there was a quote there to say something like, "Show no mercy." What movie is that from? There was a quote about 3 Vindicator tanks. You're running 3 Vindicators and 9 Predators. I bet your opponents love playing against that. Do you have any infantry in the list? Anyone think Bolter and Scepters would be good with lethals? I mean, they'd be alright. I think the problem that I have with picking Bolter and Scepters is like Knights are a very common enemy in the meta. And the Bolter and Scepters wound rolls into those will just genuinely be pretty bad, and it's definitely feasible to see Bolter and Scepters do literally no damage to Knights. I've done it myself in a tournament and it felt so bad, and I think I dropped the unit of Bolter and Scepters on an objective, and I think I needed to do like 1 damage to Knight to take it away from them, and it did nothing. Even with the twin linked, it did nothing, and I was like, oh my god, you're going to be shitting me. So ever since then, I think I've been a little bit off Bolter and Scepters because they let me down. They let me down at a critical moment, you know. And sometimes when a unit lets you down at a critical moment, you're like, I'm not playing that unit again for a while. Did Knights get stronger? I've heard good things about the new Knights Codex. I haven't seen it myself, but I mean, I think it's leaked now. I think it may be leaked. You know, like the potato versions leak all the time now. So I think the potato version has leaked. I must admit, I have not seen it. Well, good luck with your 9 Predators and Vindicator tanks today, Phil. I have to go in a few minutes. I didn't realise the time. It's almost been live 2 hours now. How about in Vanguard Spearhead with a +1 AP to hit strat on the Bolter and Scepters? Just trying to justify them. How far away do you need to be to get the +1 AP? I mean, you could also run them in Gladius and do Storm of Fire, which gives remove cover and an extra point of AP, right? Rudy says, I'm playing a 1k tournament in my local shop. I'm taking Blood Angels and Inheritors. Do you think the Sanguinor is overkill or too expensive for 1k? No. I just think into some matchups he's really hard to get value out of, but that's the same for 2k as well. He might actually be better in 1k because people are less likely to have as many vehicles potentially. But yeah, I mean, there's some matchups where I just feel the Sanguinor just doesn't have, you know, like his strength 6 is pretty average. So if you come into like Death Guard where their whole army's toughness 9, it's really hard to get value out of the Sanguinor, right? I mean, maybe not the whole army's toughness 9, maybe they got 1 or 2 units that are like T7 or 8. I think their Terminators are T7. Their Plague Marines are T6, maybe. So he's good against... Well, is he good against Plague Marines? He's okay against Plague Marines, I guess. Inceptors look like oversized bumblebees that somehow fly. Jump packs, man. Yeah, I mean, I've played the Sanguinor a bit, I feel like. But I think it really comes down to the matchup, right? You go into World Eaters, he's a great pick. You go into Death Guard, I think he's like very average. You go into Knights, I think he's very average. You go into Orcs, I think he's a great pick. I mean, that's probably why I don't run him in my list, right? Just because it's like, in some matchups he's amazing, in some matchups he's like dead weight points-wise. And I mean, I guess he can spike, right? Like, I've seen him spike, I've seen him kill I've had him kill a toughness 9 Death Guard unit all by himself. The Death Guard unit charges me. He, what is it? Miraculous Savior from reserve, and he's killed, I think he killed like a 10 wound bloat drone or whatever they are. Toughness 9, 10 wound bloat drone. I rolled like 5 6s or some bonkers shit, like 8 devastating wounds, and the Death Guard thing's going to take like 3 saves. But that happens like 1 in a million. Most of the other times he just comes in against a Death Guard unit and it's like, alright, cool, he did 2 devastating wounds to the Death Guard unit, and then the Death Guard unit just turns around and smashes him in the face and he's dead. So yeah, the Sanguinor is he's tough to play, but you'll get some matchups where he's just bonkers, and then you'll get some other times where he spikes. So if you know what you're getting into, then I'd say he's an okay pick. Into anything really, into 1,000 points, into 2,000 points, into any, yeah. What would I replace him with? What, the Sanguinor? How did I do this base? It's base extenders, man. You buy them on eBay. They just slot. The old bases just slot right in. So this is a 25 to 32, but this one was a 25 to 40. So the old base just slots straight in. Just search on eBay for 40k base extenders. I've actually done a video on base extenders. You could probably find it on my channel. Because I was rebasing like a bunch of models and I wasn't really willing to try and rip them all off their existing bases, and or I wasn't willing to pay a lot of money for it either. Because base extenders are like super cheap. You get like 5 of them for $5 or something. Thank you, you're welcome. But it's pretty quick, right? Like, I only glued this guy onto the base at the start of the stream, quickly put a coat of paint over the new base, and then it's just like, now just going to slap the texture paint over the top of it. And I mean, you'll be able to see that there is like a rim like obviously because there's a hole in the base, right? Like you'll be able to see like a slight indentation afterwards, probably, because the texture paint will dry into that hole and it'll like contract a little bit. But like unless you're looking dead at it, unless you're being particularly difficult or particularly pernickety, I think is the word, then you'll barely even notice it. Like unless you're looking for it, you won't even notice that they're really on a basic center. I mean, the thing that I'll notice that he's on a basic center is it's a tiny model on a big base, but the actual base part will be fine. But you could, I mean, you could go back a second time round, right, and slap even more texture paint into the gap there. But sometimes if you put the base paint on thick enough, which I think I might have managed to do here, you're probably not going to even be able to hardly see the gap whatsoever. No, yeah, you can maybe just see it around his feet. There's like a tiny little indent of where that base, where that gap was in the base, I guess. That'll do. That'll do, though. Let that dry, and then we'll hit it with some Nuln oil or something like that. I spent the stream repainting my Sangre Guard. I found a gold formula I really like, so making them all gold. Well, I mean, Sangre Guard are sort of supposed to be gold, so that's a good plan. I mean, I suppose you don't have to make them gold if you don't want to. Guys, thank you so much for watching tonight. I am going to have to take off. It's been a pleasure. Wednesday night, we'll have... what are we going to have on Wednesday night? Deathwing, that's the one. Or Dark Angels and their Deathwing Knights. So we'll have that on the channel for the first time in ages. Wednesday night. Thank you so much for the gifted memberships again, Phil. You're very generous. Good luck at the rest of your event. Let us know if you win it in the members chat. I'll be live tomorrow night about 8 PM, I think, for the Armyless show. And I think that is about us. It's been a pleasure, guys. Leave a like before you head off, if you wouldn't mind. If you had any comments on the battle unit smasher thing that I shared earlier in the stream, I'd love to hear them. Leave me a comment on that. And that'll be it. We'll see you tomorrow night. Forget, I've moved my camera up here for these streams because it used to be like you couldn't see me because my magnifying glass. Thanks so much for watching. Have a lovely evening. Take care. Good night.